Alright, so it feels like since the beginning of Lukeism, people has been comparing it to Baki. At the very least, ever since it's become Gangism, right? So, a lot of people still are in the, state of mind where they say, yeah, a single Baki character pulls up there and they'll like annihilate everyone from Lukeism. I personally think naive, very naive to think that now, especially after all the new feats we got. Like, I'm sorry, ever since we got the Gap doing the Iron Gate punch feat, they're Lukeism level. What am I saying? They're Baki level. Like, realistically, Yujiro never did anything like that. You could argue the Earthquake feat, an outlier feat, yeah. But like, from the air pressure of his punch, I cannot see him doing the same thing that Gap did at that point in time. To be fair, Gap is all about AP, so you can, let it slide, especially since Yujiro, he's more like hacked out, right? He has all these new moves and shit, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And if they feel like it, they can make his aura like shake up a skyscraper. So really, their feats make no sense, because they go from like, oh, barely being able to penetrate, like bulletproof walls or some shit, to getting taken down by elephant or like whale tranquilizers and some shit, and then punching the floor and stopping an earthquake. How does that make sense? How did you keep the floor intact is the real question. Whatever. Not even gonna question it. That's some Baki shit. I've always said Baki, Jojo, those two creators, man, they take drugs before writing their series. No shame against that. It's just like the creativity, comes from artificial means, 100%. So yeah. Now I was always wondering, take a top tier from Lukeism, because we always do the opposite, right? You took Yujiro, put him in Lukeism, everyone says, oh, he solos everyone. Fair, for now. I still think by the end, shit will change. But, possibly change. I don't know, maybe James Lee takes him down. Y'all not ready for that conversation, neither am I, to be honest. But I'm wondering, what if we take one of our own berserkers, right? A top tier by all means of the Lukeism verse, and throw him in the Baki verse. How would he fare, right? So today I would like to discuss what would happen if Gitae Kim found himself in the Baki verse. We'll I guess see how far he would get running the gauntlet, right? So, weak Baki characters. Is there anyone I can even, like, I guess the weak people would be from like Baki the Grappler. He probably solos most people there, especially at that time and versions and everything. Aside for like the people that stayed in Baki, right? Like Doppo, Orochi, Yujiro Hanma, those type of people, He probably takes care of them all pretty easily, especially Teen Baki, all that shit. Shouldn't have much problem. Don't believe me. He literally punches a dude so hard in the air that the floor below them explodes. I'm sorry, have we ever seen anyone from Baki do that? Aside for Yujiro? No. Realistically, no. Fucking Hanayama never did that shit. When he punched, maybe I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure when he punches Yujiro in the face and makes him bleed a little bit, right? Nosebleed or whatever. I'm pretty sure the floor below them did not explode. You get what I mean? But that's what happened. When Gitae, playing around, picks up Zach Lee, who's spinning around the place, and punches him in the gut. Don't believe me? Maybe we'll find like a panel of what that happened. That shit was crazy. Those are some feats that's like, what the fuck's going on, right? These characters are pretty powerful at this point. I don't know. Maybe PTG doesn't realize how crazy it is for air pressure to be doing all that shit. But yeah. Just from that feat, he pretty much clears most Baki characters. I'm sorry. All the prisoners get no diff. Maybe not no diff. Maybe like Dorian, he's pretty tricky. He'll do some, crazy shit with his little string or whatever. His little, I don't even know what that shit was. Anyways, it was like cutting limbs and shit. I still think Gitae, if he can catch an axe from Conviction, Rage, and Wrong, he probably won't be getting cut from that shit, right? We got Manager Kim too, so like, he does the same thing with the wires. Anyways, as I was saying, I think he should have no real issue against the prisoners. Maybe Yanagi because he has some poison bullshit. Still, I think Gitae just pulls out his axe and literally slices the old fuck in half. I don't see him surviving that, right? Before he can use his palm bullshit on him. Worst part is Yanagi like 5 feet tall. He's not reaching Jitae's face. I'm sorry to tell you this. He's not reaching Jitae's face to like poison him or whatever. Jitae just gotta pull out the axe. Heck, he might not even. He might just stab through his guts with his hands or whatever. Because he built like that. He did it to fucking Ji-Chang. He stabbed through his hand blade. That's crazy. Ji-Chang's hand blade that, mind you, can like snap the floor in half and everything. When he was fighting against Lil Daniel, he starts throwing that shit and hits the floor and it cracks everything. So like, the fact he can penetrate that, which is probably Ji-Chang's like strongest body part, crazy. So yeah, he pretty much rips apart all of the prisoners, arguably at the same time. Sure, the prisoners are probably gonna come back soon, right? I mean, it feels like they're a forgotten plot, but like the way they were being hyped up and everything, it felt like they planned on bringing them back realistically. But if Gitae wasn't Baki, there would be no prisoners. Let's be honest here. Sikorsky or whatever, he gets absolutely demolished, worse than what Jack did to him. All of them get killed at the same time if Gitae was in that verse. Who else? Doppo Orochi. Here's where it gets a bit tougher. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to me at least. Doppo lacks the strength and speed. Maybe not speed, but he definitely lacks like the AP to harm Gitae. But like, he can make up for it with experience and skill. So really it's up to you if you believe he would survive. In my opinion, Gitae no diffs. Heck, maybe not no diff, but like low to mid at best. He goes on to fight like Hanayama. Might be fun for him. Hanayama does hit hard. I still think no feats has been shown, right, for the Baki characters to prove that they hit as hard as the Lucasum characters, which is crazy to say. I know. You could argue one of those prisoners, yeah, he punched the Statue of Liberty and started cracking. Okay, he punched it like 200 times. Sure, impressed. It took one punch of old Gap. The same Gap, mind you, Gitae killed, right? One punch of his to absolutely annihilate a big ass gated fence, whatever the fuck that thing was. It was like metal reinforced and everything. The air pressure of his punch from punching another dude did that. Absolutely demolished that gate. I'm sorry, but no, like, you could, the only feats you could argue that I can even think of that puts them close to that is the earthquake feat. And even then, that earthquake feat was an outlier. We never see Yujiro do that shit again. If not, we see him getting weaker ever since. Maybe the whole building is shaking from his aura. That too, that was pretty impressive. But literally only Yujiro does that. Maybe a little bit of Baki. But at the same time, Baki characters, like, their feet, sometimes they have anti-feats, right? They go from faster than lightning, faster than cameras can pick up, which I would argue would be faster than most Lucasm characters can, you know, do. Maybe not James Lee, we don't know yet. But they go from that to, oh, let me do the cockroach dash on Yujiro. And he's like, oh my god, that's overwhelmingly fast. That's 160 kilometers an hour, like a bullet train or something. They said some shit like that, like 200 kilometers an hour. And I'm like, are you stupid? That's a dash. That's not even his running speed. And it's like car level, bus level, train level. What is this? How do you go from, oh, my jab is speed of lightning, or you know, I can dodge fucking lightning, to I can't dodge this bitch's cockroach dash? It doesn't make sense. It's just, that's what I mean. All I'm trying to say, you take the average feats of a Lucasm character, the average feats of Baki characters, I would argue Lucasm seems more impressive as of right now. And it will still go on for a bit longer while in Baki, we're checking out Jack's story, I guess. And really, Jack doesn't have that many crazy feats. I mean, it's more about, you know, biting shit and whatnot. And for some reason, they're flexing the fact he can, like, lift 300 kilos with his teeth, okay? Alright. I suppose, man. Like, I'm sorry, but this is what I mean. The feats make no sense in Baki. Some of them are just, like, not very impressive. Which is why, getting back to Gitae, I would argue, he's pretty much at the 1 percentile in the Bakiverse. Like, no one... Realistically, the only people I could see beating Gitae for now would be, like, Yujiro, because of martial art bullshit, right? Demon brain shit, I don't really know. Baki, because he's, like, you know, right now he'd be going crazy. Baki, they made him pretty strong. They're kind of making him seem like Yujiro right now, so there's that. And then maybe Musashi. Personally, I think Gitae probably kills Musashi. Invisible hand blades, all that shit, I don't care. He cut a cow in half, okay. I'm impressed. If it was like IRL, in real life, I'd be like, damn, that guy pretty impressive. For a story, cutting a bull in half? Like, are you serious? Am I supposed to be impressed? This is what I mean, bro. And then we learned that, oh, that shit could have killed Yujiro. But then the other dude, the weapon dude, that's probably like a one-shot to Gitae. He's like putting up a fight against Musashi. But then again, it was bad matchups and everything. So I'm not going to get into it. All I want to say, if Gitae ever does come to the Bakiverse, only Baki and his dad are safe. Everyone else probably gets killed, realistically. And as we get more feats, maybe everyone gets killed. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all want to give me death threats, send them on the YouTube description or whatever. All good. You like the video, like it. You hate it, hate it. Yeah. Thank y'all for watching.